We spend our waking hours chasing peace of mind, only to lie awake at night confronting the silence of what comes after death. The gap between the immediate anxieties of daily life and the permanence of eternity is massive. Bridging it requires more than a passing thought or an occasional prayer. Islamic tradition identifies a specific, targeted solution for this, a nightly habit designed to act as that exact bridge, the recitation of Sural Al Mulk. This chart shows how the surah operates. In this tradition, the text acts as an active companion that travels with the believer across 4 distinct stages of existence: life, the grave, judgment, and eternity. To understand the power of this practice, we must see how the 5 benefits outlined by the Prophet Muhammad form a sequential, unbreakable spiritual lifeline. The journey begins in the present. Daily existence acts like a slow accumulation of dust on the soul, minor errors, lapses in judgment, and the heavy weight of worldly anxieties. The first 2 benefits of the nightly recitation address this weight directly. The verses provide a mechanism for clearing away those daily spiritual lapses, while anchoring a restless heart with sukoon, a steady internal peace that pushes back against worldly stress. But that peace faces its true test at the threshold of mortality, as the soul enters the barzakh, the transitional realm of the grave. The grave is a place of profound isolation, where the soul remains alone, facing the consequences of its life until the end of time. Within this isolation, the surah provides its most renowned benefit. It manifests as a literal defensive shield, standing between the deceased and the punishment of the grave. The mental calm cultivated by the surah during waking life translates into a physical defensive barrier in the afterlife. Eventually, the timeline reaches the 3rd stage, the Day of Judgment. The scale of this final reckoning is massive, with every soul gathered to answer for the totality of their lives. At this moment, the Arabic words recited quietly in life take on a dynamic, personified form. On the Day of Judgment, Sural Al Mulk becomes an active advocate for the believer, stepping forward to intercede. It is a persistent defense. The surah argues on behalf of the reciter until forgiveness is granted and the soul is cleared. This advocacy comes with a specific requirement. The intercession is reserved for those who maintained the habit consistently while they were alive. At the most vulnerable moment of a soul's existence, the protection that once stood as a wall now acts as a proactive legal defense. This leads to the 4th and final stage of the chronological journey, eternity in Jannah, or paradise. Because the surah has defended the soul through life, death, and the scrutiny of judgment, it clears the final path, making the entry into heaven easy. However, that outcome depends entirely on the current moment. The preparation for that journey must happen while there is still time. Looking at this scale comparison reveals the logic of the practice. A dedication of just a few minutes every night converts into a continuous, infinite line of eternal protection. For this protection to be secured, the recitation must be an unbroken, nightly habit. Consider your own nighttime routine. Think about the habits, the glowing screens, or the anxious worries that occupy moments before sleep. Adopting this brief recitation is a strategic investment. It secures peace for the night ahead and builds a shield that lasts forever.